the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Gotta wake up, bitch. Get up.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Morning Spread right here on the Betting News Network. Episode 50 for all you keeping track at home. Episode 50 of the Morning Spread right here on the BNN. Appreciate you guys being here as always. Thanks for starting your morning right here with myself, Nate Hornung, better known as Shaggy Betts. I got producer Sook helping me out in the shadows, and we got a big show planned for you guys today. Big day on the network as a whole as well. You're stuck with me, per usual, on the Morning Spread for the next 59 minutes or so. And that's the only show we have for you this morning / afternoon. But we got a trio of shows later today for your viewing pleasure. Starting at 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, no plays off. We'll be live right here on the BNN. Adam, Cia, and Thorpe talking everything, whatever they talk on No Plays Off. They'll be getting into plenty of nonsense, I'm sure. After No Plays Off, we're going to have afternoon Bet Espresso SBJ Sook with a little guest appearance from Chef T and Gretzky Betskis on afternoon Bet Espresso at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern, and then following that off the bump with Danny Burke and Adam talking all things baseball. So a trio of shows later for you guys today. You're stuck with me for the next hour here on the BNN. But what are we going to get into today? Stifler is already throwing out some dart wagers for us. Luke Lidler, over 3.5 180s at -110. Say less, Stiff. Say less. This is basically the, Premier League, lower leagues, right? Basically the lower leagues of soccer. It's darts. Same thing, right? Luke Lidler, household name. Am I getting BK today? No, I will not be. I don't think you could pay me to eat BK at this point, to be quite honest with you. That's just so low on the tier list of fast food establishments. BK is just bottom of the barrel. All right, you need to have some issues if you're eating regularly at BK. Let's put it that way. So no BK for me. Even if Sook says it's good for him. He can have all the BK. I don't need any of it. No Whoppers for your boy. Right here on the Morning Spread, what are we getting into? We're going to talk some Yoffs, as always. We're going to talk some NBA. We're going to talk some NHL, recap what happened last night, talk about what is happening today. We might get into a little bit of baseball. I do have a couple of baseball scribbles out at bettingnews.com. You can go peep those if you'd like. And then, of course, we are going to get into some Europa League. Excuse me. We do have 2 Europa League semifinals today. We got SC Freiburg taking on Braga, and then Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest going head-to-head. So peep those scribbles at bettingnews.com. We're going to get into the UEL picks here in a little bit. Announcements before I forget. There will not be Morning Spread the rest of the week. I'm heading down to Texas. Brother-in-law is getting married this weekend, so I am out of commission after today. No Morning Spread for the rest of the week. We'll pick things back up on Monday. Appreciate you guys for understanding as always. And I guess I didn't realize, but I'm glad I did. Look at the MLB schedule. We do have a game starting at 11:35. 30 minutes. The Rangers and the Yankees go head-to-head. We got Mackenzie Gore. We got Paul Blackburn on the bump. Do we need to sweat out this Nerfy? Let me just pull up some books, do some line shopping real quick, and that's where we'll start the show. I've enjoyed these Thursday Nerfy sweats. I know they didn't go well for us last week. We had like 4 or 5 that we were sweating out, and I think we only went 1 of 3. Not great, but let's get our lick back today. Let's take a look at these prices and see if anything is tempting to us. Looking at the Nerfy in this Rangers-Yankees game, under at the Blue Book, -125. There's our starting point. minus 125, best odds available right now. Ooh, minus 105, 20 cents different. At a wedding, are you a chicken dance or an electric slide guy? I don't discriminate, Stifler, because I'm on the dance floor the whole dang time. All right, if I'm not on the dance floor, I'm in line at the bar getting another drink. But other than that, I am on the dance floor at weddings. So both, to be honest. Don't discriminate. I love them both. And I mean, let's be honest, folks. Weddings are supposed to be fun. Speaking from someone who has been married, and am currently married, had my own wedding. Wedding, there's nothing worse than being at a wedding, maybe it's your own wedding, and seeing the guests just sitting at the tables silently, not participating, acting like they'd rather be somewhere else. All right, if you're a guest at a wedding, your job, you have the easiest job of all time. Your job is to have fun. Your job is to eat food, get responsibly drunk, and dance. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It's not over. She's still here, thankfully. Thankfully, hasn't run away screaming yet. But your job as a wedding guest is to have fun. So I encourage you all at the next wedding you attend, have fun. Do your job, eat, drink, be merry, hit the dance floor. Everybody's going to have a good time. Plain and simple. Looking at the old GMG book, I am seeing minus 120 for the Nerfy. So that minus 105 on the green book looks like our best number available. Let me check one more book, pull up the old Days of the Year book, and see if they're offering anything competitive. Let's see. Rangers, Yankees, ahead. You get it. It's an easy job. You show up, you eat, you drink, you have fun. Easy job. All right. Innings, first run, no minus 120. Yep. All right. Minus 105, best number available, folks, on the old green book. Green book, minus 105 for the Rangers-Yankees Nerfy. No runs in the first inning of that Rangers-Yankees game getting started here in about 28 minutes. No runs in the first inning. That's what we got. If I can find this on the app now. No. First inning. There we go. First inning runs under half a run, minus 105. It has been booked. Boom. There we go. All right. Rangers, Yankees, Nerfy, starting here in a half hour. Lock it in. Minus 105, best number. We'll have some sweats. For the rest of the baseball, if I have some time at the end of the show, I will sell it to you, but I do have scribbles out in the Rays-Red Sox game and the Cardinals-Padres game, both of those nationally televised tonight on that 4-letter network later tonight. 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock Central first pitches in the Rays and the Red Sox and the Cardinals and the Padres for a late night MLB sweat. KP, yes, sir. Let's talk about what happened on the hardwood last night. We're going to start in the East, actually, where the Knicks took it to Philadelphia. Now, it was a fairly competitive game, much more competitive than the first matchup between these two teams, but the Knicks still got the job done, 108 to 102. No Joel Embiid. They still covered the spread for the Sixers, but Jalen Brunson, 26 points from the kiddo. The Knicks still shot lights out. All right, in game one, they shot 63% from the field, over 50% from beyond the arc. Now, those three-point numbers came down pretty significantly, just shot 27% from deep as a team, where the Knicks 7 of 26 from beyond the arc. But you make 84% of your free throws, good things are going to happen, and then you shoot 51% as a team. That's just tough to beat. All right, the Sixers have unfortunately been on the receiving end of two fantastic shooting nights from the New York Knicks, and New York is cruising, ladies and gentlemen. That is what, 5 straight wins, I believe, for the Knicks. Yeah, 5 straight wins, absolutely obliterated the Hawks in the final 3 games of that series, taking it to the Sixers in 2 games of this series. Now the Knicks have a 2-0 series lead heading to Philly for game 3 on tomorrow. Friday, the Sixers and the Knicks go head-to-head in Philadelphia. We'll see if the 76ers can turn things around at home. They certainly need to. Moving to the West, Shout out the Spurs, man. Shout out the Spurs covering that first half spread, just taking it to the Timberwolves. That's what we said. All right, I said it on the morning spread. I said it on Betspresso yesterday. This was kind of the common consensus between all the talking heads on this network that the Spurs need to come out with some fire. And that's exactly what they did. All right, beat the T-Wolves by 7 in the first quarter. Beat them, nearly doubled their score in the second quarter as well, leading by, 20 at halftime? No, that's way more than 20. 25? Math. Why can't I do math right now? 17, 24. They were up 24 at halftime. There we go. We got it. And never looked back. Ended up winning the game by 38 points, 133 to 95. Hey, just for the record, I didn't call anyone out by name, but, interpret that however you want. Hey, Stifler. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring up Stephon Castle's threes. That would be mean. All right. He only shot 1. I know you were on Stephon Castle for over 1.5 threes. Good bet. Didn't come through. So I'm not going to bring up the fact that Stephon Castle did not go over his 1.5 threes. 21 points. All right. Led the Spurs with 21 points. Just 0 of 1 from beyond the arc. So don't worry, Stifler. Not going to bring that up. Because that's just hurts, man. That'd be salt in the wound if I brought that up. So definitely not going to mention how Stephon Castle did not go over his 1.5 threes line last night. Still led the Spurs in scoring. Good for him. Congratulations to the Spurs. Tied up that series 1 game apiece, heading up north to Minnesota for game 3 tomorrow evening. Spurs shot 50% from the field, 41 from beyond the arc, made 82% of their free throws. Won the turnover battle, won the rebounding margin. It was all Spurs last night. Did I see the Jackals? They had raid signs in the stands for Ant-Man. I did not. Will you just explain to a novice NBA guy what the Jackals are? I believe they're like a Spurs super fans, kind of. Is that right?
Yeah, they're like they're a fan section that Wemby kind of organized, and it's kind of a guarantee that they stand on their feet most of the game. They bring signs. They only wear Spurs gear, and they had raid cans to get rid of the ants last night. It was pretty funny.
Okay, that's good. That's a good troll.
And the best part of it is that they're screaming at the Wolves bench, and the Wolves bench is covering their faces, trying not to laugh.
Because they thought it's hilarious. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. W troll from the Jackals. That's awesome. All right, folks. That is what happened on the hardwood last night. Let's switch to the ice, where we had two games on the ice. First one, game 1. In Buffalo, it was all Sabres. All Sabres against the Canadiens. Only 16 shots from Buffalo. All right, nowhere near what we needed them to produce in order to get Jacob DeBesch over his 26.5 saves. That one never stood a chance, but neither did the Canadiens. Down 2-0 pretty early in the first period. They got one back right before the break on a power play, but then it was another 2-1 second period and a scoreless third. It was all Sabres. It was all Sabres in this game 1. Took it to the Canadiens. And Buffalo looking like they might dominate the series, to be honest with you, because I just think they looked light years ahead of the Canadiens. On the ice, they were quicker. They were more fearless. So I just really see the Sabres taking it to the Canadiens. I think this could be a short series, if we're being honest. And they're going to want it to be a short series because they're going to face the Canes in the next round. Canes probably going to have a short series of their own against the Flyers. So we'll see what happens. Kev says the Sabres are winning the cup. Best of luck to you, Kev. I mean, that's just a tough matchup against the Canes. Like they got the talent. They've been playing lights out this year. I don't know. I just think Carolina with that playoff experience is going to be able to do it. But we'll get to that when we get there. Sabres still need to win 3 games against the Canadiens. The Canes still need to win a couple against the Flyers. But quack, quack, Austin. The Ducks dominated in Sin City. Outshot the Knights 28-22. Scoreless first period, but then the Ducks did take a 1-goal lead in the second, got that up to a 3-goal lead in the third period. It was an empty netter that got them that third goal with about 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Vegas actually finally got a concession goal with 6 seconds left in the game on a power play, but they just ran out of time at that point. Ducks tied up this series. Lucas Dostal saved over 95% of the shots he faced. Fantastic game all around from Anaheim. And they tied the series up 1-1, heading back to Anaheim for Game 3 on Friday. Game 3 on Friday, tomorrow in Anaheim. And, the Ducks might have the momentum here. I do still believe Vegas is the better team on paper, on the ice. They weren't last night. But I still have faith in Vegas coming back and winning this series. But, I don't know. Anaheim's a streaky team. I'm going to look at the odds real quick just on the series price just to see if Vegas would be enticing a little bit. They're still minus 160. All right, they're still minus 160 to win this series. Maybe we'll take a stab with Vegas if they lose Game 3. Then we'll probably be getting plus money down 2-1, but I still would think Vegas comes back and wins this series, and clearly the books do as well, pricing them at minus 160 to win it all. Sabres minus 215 to win their series if you have faith in the Canadians, plus 176 on the blue book to come back and win this series. But at that point with the Canadians, I think it's just better for a money line rollover. I don't think the plus 176 is worth your time. I think you'd rather just bet them as a dog in Buffalo in Game 2 and then bet them as a short favorite at home in Montreal. But that is what happened last night on the hardwood and the ice playoff action for you. Stifler got on that Nerfy with us. Love it. Starting here in about 18 minutes. 18 minutes. Math is tough. Rangers, Yankees, Nerfy. Minus 105 on the green book was the best line I found. It was priced minus 120, minus 125 elsewhere. So minus 105, plenty of value just compared to the other books. That's why you line shop, people. This is why you line shop. All right. The one thing that takes zero skill, all it takes is a little extra time. You sign up for multiple books, use as many as you can, do your line shopping, and get the best number available. Long term, that is going to help you more than anything else. All right, folks. That's some playoff recap of what happened in the playoffs last night. We're going to get to the playoff bets here in a little bit, but let's start on the pitch with the Europa League. The Champions League final is set, people. Champions League final is set. Arsenal and PSG going head-to-head on May 30th in Budapest. PSG, a 1-1 draw against Munich last night in Germany. That was still enough for them to move on after their 5-4 aggregate victory in leg one. Arsenal on Tuesday, they took down Atletico Madrid by a score of 1-0, 2-1 on aggregate, moving Arsenal to the UCL final, their first UCL final since 2006. So you got Arsenal, who has not been to a Champions League final in 2 decades, and you have PSG, who is the defending UCL champion. Going to be a fantastic game here in a few weeks. We're going to have some scribbles out very early on previewing that game, previewing that match just from all different angles. Maybe get a prop piece out for you folks, but I will tell you right now, I'm leaning towards the under. I'm definitely leaning towards the under in that game. Go figure, Shags likes an under in a soccer match in a cup final. Wild stuff. Please, Sook, an interesting fact about soccer and movies. I would love to know it.
2006 Arsenal UCL final.
Yep.
Devil vs. Prada 1 comes out. 2026 UCL final. Arsenal's there. Devil vs. Prada 2 comes out.
Oh,
Anne Hathaway, big SPJ, big fan of Anne. Anne is a big fan of the Gunners.
okay. Well, that's not good news for the Gunners because in 2006 they did lose the Champions League final. So if history repeats itself, that's not going to be good for the Gunners here in a couple of weeks. But it's those parallels, man. Life's weird. Life is weird. Life's wild. Crazy coincidences. It's interesting, though. 2 decades later, Devil Wears Prada 2. Arsenal back in the UCL final. But let's talk today about the UEL, the Europa League, because their second legs of their semifinals are happening this evening. And we have 2 home teams trying to dig themselves out of an aggregate deficit. Let's get into it. Let's start in Germany, where SC Freiburg is hosting Braga. Now, Braga took it to them in Portugal in game 1. Braga leads 2-1 on aggregate score. All that matters is aggregate score. All right, in the Champions Cup last night, we were dealing with some away goals. That does not matter in the UEL. It is just aggregate score. That's all they need. So Freiburg wins this game by 1. We're going to see extra time. We're potentially going to see penalty kicks. Braga wins by more than 1. Great, they move on. If they don't win or lose, Braga will be in the UEL final. Now, like I said, German side down 2-1 after losing in the first leg. But Braga really dominated. They controlled 58% of possession. They outshot their visitors 13-10, 6-2 on frame. They won the corner kick battle 3-1. All right, it was all Braga in that first leg. Very defensive game, which does make me think things are going to be even tighter in Germany. Now, Braga goes on the road with a 1-goal lead. Like I said, their defense was already stellar in the first leg. They do not need to score, people. Braga does not need to score. Unless Freiburg finds the back of the net. But a 0-0 draw, that moves Braga on. I think... Sorry, I just read Stifler's question. The answer can be both. Definitely can be both. Look, I see Braga being extremely defensive focused. I think that could lead to them controlling 60% of possession. But even if Freiburg has the ball plenty, they need to create those chances. They need to convert, neither of which happened in the first leg. I see this being a 1-goal game in favor of Freiburg, which will force extra time, which will also cash our same game parlay that we're rolling with in this matchup. Freiburg on the money line and the under 3.5 at plus 147. Now you can take this up to 4.5. Freiburg on the money line and under 4.5 still is plus money. Still plus 110 or plus 105. I think there's still a plus sign next to it. But I see this being a very low scoring game. Braga, their defense was already very, very good. Now you're in a position where you don't need to be aggressive offensively, and you know the host will. Freiburg is going to throw men forward. They're going to create and try and produce as many chances as possible because they need to. Their season depends on it. All right, they need a win in order to just force extra time. Multiple goal win would send them through. But our bet right here, Freiburg on the money line and the under 3.5. This is a 90-minute wager. It will be settled after 90 minutes, regardless of the result. So unfortunately, if we do see, well, actually, that wouldn't work out because if it's a draw, we're not going to go into extra time anyways. Freiburg, win the game. Win the game, keep it kind of low scoring. Freiburg and the under 3.5 plus 147. Like I said, you can take this to 4.5 and still get plus money if you'd like. I think we see a 1-0 Freiburg win. That's plus 575. That would cash our wager and then send things into extra time. But our wager would already be settled after 90 minutes. So Freiburg on the money line and the under 3.5 is what we've got in Germany today. Moving on to the 2 EPL teams going head-to-head. We got Nottingham Forest at Villa Park taking on Aston Villa today in Birmingham. Now, both teams very familiar with each other. All right, they've already played twice this year. 3 times this season. Yeah, 3 times this season. They've already played all 3 times actually in this calendar year, all of them in 2026. Now, the last game we saw was the first leg of this UEL semifinal. Nottingham Forest, they won 1-0 at home. It was a 71st minute penalty. That's the only scoring we saw in that match. Now, earlier in the year in the EPL, they played at Forest. Earlier, we saw a 1-1 draw. Aston Villa needed an own goal to get on the scorebook. Nottingham Forest ended up tying it up a little bit later. 1-1 draw is all she wrote. But even earlier, back in January, these 2 teams played at Villa Park. And what happened there was Aston Villa dominated their visitors. They beat them 3-1, led by 1 at halftime, led by 2 early on in the second. Nottingham cut the lead to 2-1. Villa found a third goal in the 73rd minute. Really dominated the stat sheet as well. Stifler, great minds, brother. Great minds think alike. That's exactly what I'm on. Aston Villa team total over 1.5 at -124. Now, I opted for the team total rather than the money line just because it is a little less juice. As you can see, that money line -143 for Aston Villa. 2 goals should be enough to win the game. But I've got more confidence. I'll pay a little less juice for Villa to net 2 goals, something they've already done against Forest at home. And again, now, Aston Villa are pretty comfortably in a UCL qualifying position in the EPL. Their other option to qualify for the UCL next season is winning the UEL competition. I think that means that they can let loose here. They don't need those EPL points like Forest does. They can focus solely on reaching this Europa League final. As for Forest, you could argue they have more motivation because they're not qualifying for the Champions League. The only way they'll qualify for next year's Champions League is by winning this UEL. But again, I think Forest is just not as good. All right, to put it simply, not as good. I think Villa is the much better team here, especially at home. I think they're thinking last game was a fluke. I think Villa wins this. I think they win it 3-0 and really set the tone. Don't leave any doubt. 3-0 at plus 1,200 is my correct score prediction for Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. But give me Villa on their team total over 1.5 at -124. I really don't see Villa conceding any goals in this match. I don't think Forest is going to be aggressive. I think Forest comes into this and tries to park the bus for 90 minutes. All right, they have a 1-goal aggregate lead. They know how good Villa can be offensively, how easy it is for Villa to put the ball in the back of the net. And I would expect Forest comes out and parks the bus. But Villa at home, definitely capable of breaking through and putting a couple balls in the back of the net. So that's what I got in the UEL. We got Aston Villa, team total, over the 1.5, -124, and then Freiburg on the money line and the under 3.5 at plus 147. Again, feel free to take Freiburg up to 4.5. You still get plus money, but you still need Freiburg to win. So you're getting a little cushion if it does get up to 3-1. I don't think it does. I think this one stays very low scoring. So that's what we got today in the UEL. Let's switch gears. Talk about the playoffs. And don't forget, folks, we got a Nerfy starting in 7 minutes. 7 minutes, the Rangers, the Yankees, no runs in the first inning, under half a run in the first inning. Nerfy, however your book wants to word it. Rangers, Yankees, Nerfy, -105 is the sweat here in about 7 minutes. So we'll stay updated on that as we turn our attention to the playoffs. And let's start on the ice, actually. Because we only have one game on the ice tonight. The Canes and the Flyers going head-to-head in Philadelphia this time for Game 3 of this series, where Carolina is up 2-0. Carolina shut out Philly in the first game, Game 1, 3-0. Much more competitive Game 2. Went to overtime, but Carolina able to come out with a victory. They were down 2-0. It didn't matter. Tied it up, forced overtime, and then 19 minutes really, into the overtime period, Taylor Hall ended the tie. Now, Philly back at home as a substantial underdog. Carolina favored -165 on the money line. Looks like it is even being bought up a little bit. Opened about -155, up 10 cents already. Probably going to continue to move that direction. We have a total at 5.5 that is heavily juiced to the under. Seeing -142. Let me pull up Lucky Rebel to just get the exact number on you. Lucky Rebel's actually hanging you a flat 5. A flat 5, over 5 -142, under 5 plus 122. If you wanted to go to 5.5, over for plus 123, under for -143. We're going to see 5 goals exactly. This is going to be a 3-2 game either way. which is why I'm not laying the puck line with Carolina. I'm also not very willing to back the Flyers either. I don't have faith in this Philly team. They beat Pittsburgh. Congratulations. You almost let it slip through. Philly was up 3-0 on Pittsburgh. Lost games 5 and 6. Excuse me. And they played a scoreless game that Philly got the lucky puck bounce in overtime to win 1-0. 1-0. Do you say nil in hockey? Probably not. 1-0. But this Carolina team is just built different. 6-0 in the playoffs so far. They've all been close. They've all been competitive games. They've only covered the puck line, it looks like, 3 times. But again, I don't think they're a team that's built to blow out teams. So we're probably going to hold off. We're probably just going to hold off. Unless we find a pairing for the Canes money line, which is still a little to me. I could see this being a gentleman's sweep where Philly does take game 3 tonight. Carolina bounces back, wins game 4, wins it at home in game 5, 4-1. So if anything, it's going to be the Canes on the money line for me, paired with something. I don't know what that something might be right now. Ooh, actually, it could be the Padres. A little hockey baseball parlay, little Canes Padres money lines. I'm on the Padres run line. In case you're curious, I do have those scribbles out at bettingnews.com. Might have some time to sell you on it at the end of the show. Yeah, we're going to hold off hockey for now. Slight lean with the Canes. Don't know if I'm going to get there. I will admit I'm a little worried about the Flyers tonight. Not enough to back them. That's for sure. But, we'll see what happens. Oh, all right. Let's turn to the hardwood. Turn to the NBA playoffs. Talk about the 2 games we've got tonight on the hardwood. Game 2s in Detroit and in Oklahoma City. Starting in the East, we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Detroit Pistons in Motor City. Detroit took it to them in game 1, winning 111-101. Covered our team total, thankfully. Got the job done. And my biggest question regarding this series, regarding this game, are the Cavaliers going to do something on the road? Because they have not all playoffs long. Pistons 8-4 against the spread in their last 12 at home. We're basically seeing the same line that we saw in game 1. Detroit favored by 3, favored by 3.5. Pretty much the same line. Pistons 8-1 straight up in their last 9 at home. Maybe it's just the Pistons, Canes. I think we fade the Cavs again and go either spread or team total. Okay. Looking at the Cavs on the road, what'd they do against Toronto? 126-104 loss. 93-89 loss. 112-110 OT loss. So they were more competitive in the last 2 on the road against Toronto. But, I mean, didn't look great against Detroit. They kind of had it down to the wire at the end of that game. Detroit made their free throws, like good teams do. And what's really jumping out to me is this turnover margin. The Pistons only had 12 total turnovers in game 1, compared to 20 for the Cavaliers. Let's take a look at the Pistons team total. Are we just going to go right back to the bread and butter? 109.5, basically the same line. Basically the same line, up a point. Pistons lead the league in stocks. They're all menaces. That's a team I want to back. Now, I think we'll go with the spread, if anything. I think I'm confident enough in the 3.5 that we'll just take the Pistons on the spread. Now we start to think of, okay, Shaggy, are you going to be a true degenerate? Do we need action in the hockey game? And if the answer is yes, we do need action in that hockey game, I think we go with a Pistons-Canes moneyline parlay. But if we're smart, maybe we just hold off a hockey. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to build some parlays and see what kind of odds they're giving us for just Canes Pistons straight up. Both minus 162 on the blue book. That comes out to plus 161. There's a jumping off point. 159 on the green book. Not going to cut it. Let's see what we got on the old GMG. That's friendlier, minus 160. Ooh, plus 164 on the old GMG. Let me look at one more. That makes me line shop on mobile. Pistons, minus 160. Nope, not MLB, NHL. Canes, plus 160. All right, so plus 164 looks like the best odds for a little Canes Pistons moneyline parlay. I am having serious second thoughts with the Canes. We're pivoting. Pistons minus the spread. Pistons minus 3.5, minus 108. Looks like the best line available on the blue book. Minus 3.5, minus 108 for the Pistons. We're leaving the hockey out of it. We got to bet this right now. That way I don't forget before I hop on this flight. Pistons, minus 3.5, minus 108. Boom, it's booked. We're leaving hockey alone today. We're just going to root for the Canes. We do have stake in the Canes. We've got Carolina and Colorado both to win their series. But minus 3.5 with the Pistons, minus 108. That's what we got. That's what we're rolling with. Game 1. Check in our MLB because that Nerfy did start. Literally just started right now. We're good to go. All right, let me pull that up on my phone. That way we can keep you updated on the old Nerfy as we turn to the West Coast where the Thunder host the Lakers. Game 2 tonight at the Paycom Center. Oklahoma City, LA, going head-to-head. Basically the same lines as last time. Thunder still favored by 15.5. They covered it last game, won by 18. Didn't cover our team total. But they've won 5 straight now in the playoffs. Can the Lakers keep this competitive? My gut would say no. LeBron is just one man. Luke Kennard, I'm seeing a game time decision. I would expect him to play, yeah. Austin's got a first half play, but a little different. I'd love to hear it, Austin. First half team total for the Thunder, over 59. First half team total. Would have cashed last game. They scored 61. God, I didn't realize how bad of a beat that team total would have been. 61 points in the first half, only 47 in the second. Yikes. Austin, I like it. Jerry's on the Thunder spread. Jerry, earmuffs. What are our thoughts on the Thunder first half spread? Probably 8.5. Ugh, 9.5. There's a flat 9. Few flat 9s. I don't think I like that as much. I do like the Thunder first half play. 1 out. 1 out in our Nerfy. Close a look at this Thunder. Didn't like the first half spread. Yeah, I'm with you. 9.5 seems like too many. Lakers 10-21 against the spread in their last 31. First top 10 scoring defenses. Lakers might be cooked. Well, God. I was thinking maybe we pivot to the Lakers team total under, right? We were looking at it last game. Should have taken it. It was 98.5. I didn't like that it was under triple digits. Got scared off. Cashed with ease. Now it's down 2 points to 96.5. Under hitting 7 of the Lakers' last 9 first top scoring defenses. Top 10 scoring defenses. It's ticking down, it looks like. I think I saw a 212 opener. Yeah, 212 opener down to 210. When's Luka coming back? Is Luka coming back? So shaking his head no. That's what we were talking about that on Espresso a little yesterday of, if you're the Lakers, what do you do with Luka? Like if you can somehow win this game on the road without him, go back to LA with the series tied 1-1. Do you test the waters, throw him out there, see what he can do? See if he helps your team, see if he's able to play. On the flip side of that, they say 8 weeks. Sheesh. Today is exactly 5 weeks. Yeah, he got some time to go. Because the other thinking was, okay, if the Thunder do win this game too, you're going back to LA as the Lakers down 0-2 against number 1, number 2 team in the West. One of the two. Do you just throw in the towel and say, hey, we tried. Even if Luka is back to his old self, is he really going to help us overcome this 2-game deficit? And if you think no, do you just sit him down for the rest of the year, try again next season? That's kind of more where I'm leaning. And even if the Lakers do find a way to win this game and go back to LA, tied 1-1, I don't think risking Luka is worth it. Now, you're going to be asking LeBron to do a whole lot more. Why is this not updating? Is there something going on in this game? Oh, there's an injury delay. Injury delay in our Nerfy. Nice. Fun. Great. I don't know if I'm going to go with anything in this Thunder Lakers game. I will say my brother outlaw is a big Lakers guy. I believe I'm going to see him tonight. I think they're coming into town today. So I would hate to be rooting against him if we're sitting down watching this at the hotel bar. But it wouldn't be the first time. I think unfortunately we're just going to have to leave it alone. I think we're going to have to leave it alone. 8:30 tip-off. So plenty of time for you all to decide how you want to play this game. I don't have much time to decide because I'm hopping on a plane in 2 hours, flying to a state without gambling. I'll be Lucky Rebel's best friend this weekend. But like I have mentioned on the show, I won't be able to line shop. That sucks. That rubs me the wrong way. That makes me want to be more cautious with these bets, knowing that I'm not going to have options this weekend. Dominguez got hurt running into the wall, catching Nimmo's fly out. Well, we'll see if they finish off this first inning in the next 15 minutes or so. But like Buddy's been hurt for a while, apparently. Oh, it's on stupid ESPN Unlimited. That's so dumb. Bring back cable. Bring back cable, please. I've had enough of this. Derailing here a little bit. The Duke Blue Devils are playing multiple college basketball games, multiple high caliber college basketball games next year, strictly on Amazon Prime. Ryan McMahon is replacing Jason Dominguez. Who does that mean? That means they're moving someone out to left. The Duke Blue Devils signed an independent contract, apparently, with Amazon Prime. They will have 3 extremely high-caliber games strictly on Amazon Prime next year. I want to know how that works with the NCAA and what the NCAA's cut is. You're not wrong, Stifler. You're not wrong. Hey, old Jeffrey, we'll play these games on your network. Why don't you slide us some NIL dollar bills, please, and thank you. I just think that's wild, I guess. It's making it harder for these fans to keep up with these games. I understand it's all about money. Money runs the world. It sucks. But that's the primary decision maker for most people is dollar bills. You're just making it harder on the casual fan to enjoy sports. Plain and simple, I don't see it any other way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sweating out this Nerfy still. All right, folks. I'm not going to get anywhere with Thunder and the Lakers. I'm just going to maybe enjoy that game watch. This is it. This is the bottom line. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It's all about the money. All about the money. All right, batter timeout. What do we got? We got 12 minutes left on this show. Folks, don't go anywhere. There's nobody directly following me, but don't go anywhere. We're going to hang out for another 12 minutes or so. We're going to talk some nonsense, talk some sports. And I guess I will sell you on my 2 other baseball plays since I do have time. And we're sweating out this Nerfy. Full count. Show me something, Mr. Blackburn. Come on. Give him the heater. Waited too long. Nothing. All right, folks. Let's talk some baseball. He freaking walked. All right. Seager, double play ball, please and thank you. Corey Seager, I need a double play ball. Send us to the bottom of this inning. Let's get the show on the road. All right, I got a flight to catch. All right, let's talk some baseball, though, because I do have some scribbles out at bettingnews.com. You can beep them there, but I'm going to sell them for you right now. 2 nationally televised games tonight on ESPN. We got the Rays and the Red Sox at 6 o'clock. We got the Cardinals and the Padres at 9. Let's start at Fenway. 0-1 count on Seager. Starting at Fenway, Rays taking on the Red Sox. The Rays might be the hottest team in all of baseball. They have been lighting up any pitcher that stands in their way, especially over the past week. Hitting .254 as a team. Their splits don't drop off too much against left-handed pitching, who they face tonight. Jake Bennett, southpaw, on the mound for the Red Sox. Has had a solid year. I'll give him that. But the Rays are tossing out Griffin Jax, who typically comes out of the bullpen. All right, this is going to be a bullpen game for the Rays. I don't think this Jax guy is going to stay more than a few innings. And I think that's going to translate into some runs. We're taking the over. This is my first total of the year on the diamond, but the Rays Red Sox over 8.5 got -108 on Lucky Rebel. Like I said, the Rays hit 254 as a team. That number doesn't really drop off much. Not worried about that. The Red Sox, their splits home and away are actually not in their favor. Their team average actually decreases at home and against righties, but they're hitting 266 over the past week with a 313 OBP. The Rays, 273 over the past week with a 333 OBP. That puts both of those teams in the top 10 of the MLB in both those stat categories. I think these two bats are just running very, very hot. We got a guy caught stealing second base, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 strike away from a half inning being over. Show me something, Blackburn. Come on now. Over in the Rays and the Red Sox. 2 of the hottest teams in baseball hitting-wise over the past week. The numbers say so. I think Jake Bennett gets lit up. I think Griffin Jax allows plenty of runs too. So over 8.5 in the Rays and the Red Sox. Full count on Mr. Corey Seager. And a walk. And a walk. KP dropping the props for you NBA quants. Jalen Duren, 14 points. Asar Thompson, 3 assists. Plus chicken, plus 106. Josh Jung, give me a nice ground ball in this inning. Send us on our merry way. Send us on our merry way. All right, that's one baseball. Earlier nationally televised game, Rays Red Sox. We're going with the over. Jung hit by a pitch right away. Jock Peterson up to bat. All right. Well, we got 2 guys on. Not great. Runner in scoring position. Don't like that. What I do like is the San Diego Padres tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. We're taking the Padres -1.5 plus 132. I don't hate the Padres money line as a parlay piece. It's a little juicy, -165 or so. You can also take the Padres to not bat in the 9th. That is a Green Book exclusive bet. But Padres to not bat in the 9th, you'll get a little juice off the money line. You'll obviously give a little juice compared to the run line. But Padres probably about -105 or so. I can just look it up because I have a computer in front of me. Let's look up Padres no 9th to give you guys that option if you would like. Where do I find this wager? That's the problem. Team props. Got to be team props. Nope, maybe not. Maybe not. It's somewhere. It's somewhere on here. Somewhere on here, Padres did not bat the 9th. Probably -110, -105. They are really making it tough for me to find this. Here we go. -115. -115 for the Padres to not bat in the bottom of the 9th. If you don't want to pay for the run line, if you don't want to pay the juice in the money line, there's a good alternative. But I like the Padres -1.5 today. Plus 132 is what we got. Padres have now won 2 straight, 3 of their last 4, 22-14 overall this season, 11-8 at home. Cardinals, they've been good. 21-15 on the year, 11-5 on the road, but they've now dropped 2 of their last 3 overall. They're tossing out lefty Matthew Liberatore, who has had his fair share of struggles. He gave up 2 runs on 5 hits and 2 walks to the Dodgers. He allowed 5 earned runs on 8 hits to the Mariners. Both those starts were at home. I'll admit his splits do get better on the road where he's pitching tonight, but not enough really to move the needle. We're 3 outs away, people. Jock Peterson grounded out We just need 3 up, 3 down from the Yankees. We'll be good on that Nerfy. I got the Padres tonight. They have been very, very hot. All right, they hit 233 as a team, 239 at home, 242 against lefties. Now, they lost 5 of their last 8 in their last stand at home. I think they're going to be looking to get back into a groove, give their hometown fans something to cheer for. I also think the Cardinals have just been playing way too good. I think the Cardinals have been overperforming expectations all year long. I think they're absolutely due for some regression that may already be setting in, as they have lost 3 of their last 4. Michael King, Padres pitcher, he has gotten ripped apart in his last 2 outings, but his home splits are much better than his overall averages. I think this is a spot where the Cardinals bats kind of stop producing at the plate and should open up the door for the Padres to win this game by 2. So give me the Padres minus the 1.5 plus 132 is what we found. That's all I got today, folks. Those are all of my wagers this afternoon, this evening, along with this Nerfy that we're sweating out. Paul Goldschmidt looks like he's going to be on base. I'm seeing an in-play no out. No one's telling me what's going on. Mackenzie Gore just threw a meatball right down the pipe. It was a triple. Awesome. Great. And that's probably it for the Nerfy, folks. That's probably it. Man on third, nobody out. Aaron Judge up to bat. All he has to do is hit a moon rocket into left field, and they're going to score a run. Not great, Bob. Not great. But that's my cue to skedaddle, get out of here. I do have a flight to catch, so we might be hitting end on this stream just a couple minutes early. Pretty much gave you guys the full hour. But let's run through the plays one more time, and then we'll skedaddle, send you guys on your way on this fine Thursday. Again, no morning spread the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Saturday, no shows. Your boy is, like I suggested, like I alluded to, I will be doing my duty as a wedding guest. I will be having fun. I will be eating food. I will be drinking drinks. And on Saturday, I will be on that dance floor the entire time. Because your brother-in-law only gets married once, people. Hopefully. Only gets married once. Knock on wood. All right. Run through the plays one more time for the kiddos this afternoon. This afternoon on the pitch in the UEL, we got Freiburg, SC Freiburg on the money line, and the under 3.5 at plus 147 at home, down a goal on aggregate. They need to come out firing. I think they do so, but Braga got to be parking that bus as much as possible. So under 3.5 and Freiburg on the money line plus 147. Bump it up to 4.5 if you'd like. You'll still get plus money. In the EPL showdown in the UEL, Aston Villa were taking their team total over 1.5 minus 124. This is a collab with Stifler, people. All right, this is a Shaggy Stifler collab. Aston Villa over 1.5 team total minus 124. That's all there is to it. Villa going to be very aggressive at home. Already proven they can score plenty at home against this Nottingham Forest team. And I think Villa is just far and away much better than Nottingham Forest. So those are the two on the pitch. In the baseball world tonight, we got the Rays and the Red Sox over 8.5 at minus 108. And then the Padres on the run line at minus 1.5 plus 132. Judge lined out. We have life. There is a little life on this Nerfy. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to sweat the last couple of outs with you. All right, I got to go. All right, I got to go. But one more play in the NBA tonight, the Pistons minus the 3.5, minus 108. It's what we got. Pistons take it to the Cavaliers. Nothing in the Thunder Lakers. Going to leave that one alone. We're also just going to leave the hockey game alone tonight as well. But that is all I got for you, folks. I appreciate you being here as always. 0-1 count on Cody Bellinger. Root for this Nerfy as I send you on your way on this fine Thursday. I won't see you this weekend, but I will be back Monday morning, same time, same place. You know where to find me. Come on back to the channel here in about 3 hours. 3 hours, we got 3 shows for you. No plays off, followed by Afternoon Bet Espresso, followed by Off the Bump. Get those keys ready, and we'll have some fun later this evening. All right, folks, I'm out. There it is. The Yankees scored. Boom. Nerfy's dead. Thanks for playing. We had some fun. I'll see you guys next week. Adios. Enjoy your Thursday.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. Rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about